Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, we have started with a new chapter and that is the structure and function of cell. Talking about the structure and function of a cell, students, we had discussed that what is a cell, and we have also seen that what is the importance of the cell, who has discovered the cell. Talking about the cell, you see that every organism, every living organism, they are made up of a very small unit, and that small unit is called a cell. Understood? It means we will say that the living organism structure and the function that occur in the living organism is the function of the living organism. Everything is decided by decided by the cell. Decided by the cell, it means what happened? A small cell is there, it divided, and again that division occurred, and collectively a group of cells form, and then group of cells will help in the formation of the organ, and the organ will help in deciding the function. You see that in our body different organs are having different function. So we can say that it is our cell which help in building the structure and as well as help in deciding the function of the organs. See students, that is why, since it help in making a living organism, that is why it is called as building blocks of life. Building blocks, you see, while making a building we need the blocks. What is that block? Block is the bricks. So with the help of the brick only we construct a whole house. So to make a building, blocks are needed, bricks are needed. So to make a living organism, what is that building block through which a living organism can be made up of? So that is the cell. It means cell is what? It is the smallest unit of a living organism. Every living organism, student, it can be animal, it can be plant, every living organism are made up of a cell. Now talking about the discovery. So first of all, it was seen by a scientist that name was Robert Hooke. He was an Englishman, and while working on a cork cell, he has taken a thin slice of a cork cell and then he examined the cork cell under the microscope which was made by him, and he saw that these cork cells are having small compartment, and these pits or these holes or these little rooms are actually like a honeycomb structure. So that is why they are called as a little compartment or little room. And because of such kind of a structure, they called it as a cell. Because in Latin, cell means little room, compartment. Okay, so this is how the cell term came out by the help of an Englishman, by the help of a researcher named Robert Hooke. Okay, so I hope you have understood the discovery. Then we were talking about the cell theory, student. Actually, it was a German botanist and German geologist who were working on the cell, and then while working they had given the different conclusion, and finally they collectively had given a theory that is called as a cell theory, and through cell theory they had given some postulates, and they find that the results are actually common in case of plants as well as in animals. So we were talking about the cell theory and the postulates, what is the theory meant by, what are the things which has been included into the cell theory. So the first one that we have already written, student, let me write it again. That is, all living organisms are things are made up of. So all living organism and all things are, all living things, all organism are made of one or more cell. So this was this was the first postulate which we have seen in case of a cell theory, and here we find it that every living organism, every living thing, they are made up of a smallest unit which is called as a cell. So they can be made up of a one cell, or they can be made up of a more than a one cell. And this is the first postulate. Talking about the second, the point that was included in the cell theory, it is cell is the basic structural, cell is the basic structural and functional unit and functional unit of all living beings. Cell is what? This is the structural and functional unit of all living beings. Means every organism, they are made up of a smallest unit, and that smallest unit is what? It is the structural and functional unit of the living organism, and which we call as a cell. Okay, so cell is what? That is the structural and functional unit of all living being. And the next one is, that is, new cells are created. New cells are created by the division of pre-existing cell. By the division of pre-existing cell. New cells are created by the division of pre-existing cell. It means one cell is divided into two different cells or four different cells, and this is how we can say that the new cell is actually formed through the pre-existing cell. It means they came from their parent cell, or the new cells we call it as a daughter cell, students. So we can say here that the parent cell will will show the division in order to give the daughter cell. That is why I said that they are created by the division of the pre-existing cell. So the older cells, they used to divide and give rise to a new cells. Okay, so this is what, these are some of the points which has been included into the cell theory, student. First one, every living organism, even every living things, they all are made up of a one or more cell. Then the cell is what? It is the structural and functional unit of the cell. And finally, all the new cells, they get divided, they are formed due to the division of the pre-existing cell. This is the cell theory, and the cell theory has been proposed by Sheldon and Swan. Okay, so I hope you have understood the cell theory. It's really very important, student. In exam, most of the time cell theory has used to ask, and not only to the class 8, but also even higher, in the higher classes, whenever you will study cell, this cell theory will be there. So you should know the concept of the cell theory. Okay, so this is the cell theory. Now let us see that what are the different variations are there in the cell. Okay, so variations of cells. If we talk about the variation of cell, the meaning of the variation of cell means what, student? That cell, they are not always equal, they are not always same as in every living organism, but they used to vary. This variation can be of many types, student, and that is why it is said that variation in the cell. It means cell varies with the other cell in shape, in number, or even in size. Okay, so we can write here that all cells vary from other cell in number, shape, and size. All the cells they vary from other cell in the number, in the shape, as well as in size, students. Okay, now let us see that what is the variation that we will see in number, in shape, or in size. So starting with the first one, and that is variation in number. So I already had discussed, although let me remind you here, variation in number is what, students, in which the cell, an organism can be made up of one cell, or it can be made up of more than one cell. So such organism, they are called as a multicellular or unicellular. It means there are organisms which can be made up of only one cell. They need only one cell. Their body is made up of only one cell. But like if you see in case of a human body, in case of a plant body, we are made up of a number of cells, and that is why we can say here that organisms vary, they differ from each other on the basis of the number of the cells by which they are made up of. Okay, so the organisms vary from other in the number, from each other. One can be made up of one cell, or can be made up of more than one cell. Okay, one can be made up of a one cell, or it can be made up of a more than one cell. And according to that, student, we have categorizes it also into two numbers, in two types, that is unicellular organism and multicellular organism. Unicellular organism and multicellular organism. These are what, this is the variation in number. Now let us see that what do we understand by unicellular. What are those organisms which actually show the unicellular organism and the multicellular organism. Okay. So let us start with the unicellular organism, students. Unicellular organism. Unicellular organism, these are those organisms which are made up of only one cell. That is known as the unicellular organism. There are a lot of organisms, our students, those are made up of only one cell, like amoeba is there, many bacteria is there, algae is there. These all are what? These are made up of only one cell, and that is why they are unicellular. Fungus is also there, student. Fungi is also there. They are the unicellular organism. Okay, so these are the organism which are made up of only one cell. Okay, these are the organisms which are made up of only one cell. Example, Euglena, amoeba, Euglena, amoeba, Paramecium, bacteria, Paramecium, bacteria. These are some of the examples of unicellular organism. These are what? These are some of the examples of a unicellular organism. You see, students, since they are made up of only one cell, so we are continuously saying that these are what? These are made up of only one cell. Actually, if suppose they are made up of only one cell, so if an organism is having only one cell, so they have to perform all the functions, students. So that function can be respiration, that function can be the process of transportation, everything that they have to do their own. So that is why we can say that here workload is really very high, because one single cell have to perform all the necessary work, all the necessary activity which is important for the organism to survive. So we can write here that since it is made up of a single cell, so they perform activities necessary for sustaining life, such as movement, intake of food, respiration, etc. Okay, so basically it is made up of a single cell. So we can say here that it have to perform everything by its own. So this is what, student, this is all about the unicellular organism, in which the organism is made up of only one cell. So there is a lot of workload, because that single cell have to perform all the basic functions that is to be performed by the cell only. Now, talking about the second kind of a organism, that is called as multicellular organism, and the name itself says multi means many, uni means one. So that is why unicellular means which is having only one cell, which is made up of only one cell, that is called as unicellular. Now talking about the multicellular organism. So multicellular organism is what? It is an organism in which the organism is made, these are the organisms which are made up of more than one type of a cell, such as human body, human beings, or animals or plants, they all are in the category of a multicellular organism. So we can say here that these organisms are made up of only one cell. These are the organisms which are made up of only one cell. So we can write here that these are multicellular. Example, plants, then animals are multicellular organisms. These are the multicellular organisms, students. Now here you will see that since the multicellular, it means there are a lot of cells, so obviously what happened, the work will be not performed by a single cell, but all the work will be divided into the different cells, and they will going to perform each and every respective work that has been allotted to them. It means there is no such workload. It means every organism, every cells are having their own function, having their own structure according to their function, and they used to perform their functions. And in case of a unicellular, we have seen that only one cell is there, so that cell have to perform everything. So we can write here that here division of labor is there. Division of labor, it means distribution of work. Division of labor is there. Okay, division of labor is there. So how the multicellular organism is formed, student? Basically at first cell get fertilized. What happened, the two gametes, they fertilize to form the zygote, and this zygote will divide it to form a new cell. Okay, so we can say here that organisms start its life as a single fertilized egg. As a single fertilized egg, which reproduced and multiplies to become a multicellular organism. Okay, so organism starts its life as a single fertilized egg, student. One fertilized egg is there, and that will reproduce, that will multiply to form or to become a multicellular organism. Okay, so this is how we can differentiate between the unicellular and multicellular organism. Now let us see here that what are the different levels which are included into the multicellular organism. Here what are the things that we have understood, student? In case of a unicellular organism, it is made up of only one cell. Multicellular made up of a many cell. In case of a unicellular, the one cell have to perform everything, all the work. Okay, all the basic activities that is necessary for the survival of the living organism. And here the work is distributed to the different cells, and thus we can say division of labor is there. Now let us see what are the different levels of a multicellular organism. So, see, first one is a cell. A cell. Cell is what? That is the smallest fundamental unit or structural functional unit of life. Okay, so it is, cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. And functional unit of the structural and functional unit of life. Example, student, blood cell, then nerve cell, etc. So all these are what? Cells, and they are what? They are the basic structural and functional unit of life. Second one is tissue. So tissue, a tissue. Let us see what is the tissue. So tissues are what? Group of cells. They join together, they combine together to form tissue. So a group of a specialized cell having similar structure, having similar structure and function. Now what are the examples here, students? Nerve tissue is also there. Muscular tissue, epithelial tissue, muscular tissue. Okay, so tissue is what? It is a group of a specialized cell that will actually having the similar structure and function. Okay, epithelial tissue or the muscular tissue. So group of a specialized cell which is having the same structure, same function, they are called as the tissue. So cell was what? That is the basic unit of living organism, and it can be a nerve cell, can be a blood cell, can be a muscle cell, anything. Here tissues are what? Basically when the lot of cells, a group of a specialized cell, they combine together, then they form the tissue here, students. Next one is an organ. Now let us see what is there in case of a organ. So organ is made up of it is made up of different tissues. Okay, different tissues which work together works together to perform particular function. To perform particular function. Organ, see, organ can be heart, can be lungs, etc. So basically organ is what? It is made up of different types of tissues which work together and which perform a particular function together, they are called as a organ, student.